Go. Andy here with Spartan Storm Services on Kyle Walker's roof in Avon, Ohio. It is 58 degrees outside. We are doing repairs from wind damaged shingles on the roof. Just wanted to get everything on camera so that we can see how the roof is handling the process. It is about at least 18 to 20-year-old roof. So shingles like this sometimes have issues regarding repairability. So that's why we are filming this one. As you can see, there is a wind crease right here. The shingle is completely unsealed and it is hinged right there at the neck. So first thing I'm gonna do is identify the butt joints, remove all 8 nails holding this damaged shingle in once I identify the tabs, and then go ahead, remove the damaged shingle, put the new one in, and nail it back into its place. So right here is the butt joint. So it's this tab, and this tab. So I just need to unseal the tabs that are above the damaged shingle, and then the other tabs surrounding the one that is damaged and not unsealed yet. Again, not using any excessive force, just what's necessary to remove the nails. The damaged shingle came right through the nail. Again, damaged shingle came through the nail instead of the nail coming with it. To remove the one holding it down. Oh. Same thing's happening here. So these shingles are a little more brittle and they are pulling through the nail instead of the nail coming off with it. Same thing's happening here too. Is right here, we're trying to remove the nail and it is firmly into the decking, so these shingles are ripping through and off the nail head. That's going to be a problem when we're re-nailing these shingles. Again, I'm not lifting them any extra high or anything like that. I'm just trying to get these nails out so I can take out the damaged shingle properly and then put the new one in. These guys are really in there. There we go. Got the nail to come up with the shingle on that one. Nope, there's one still in that corner. That's right. Again, the nail is coming through the shingle while we're trying to repair this roof. Come on. Was able to get all the nails out with my roofing bar. Damaged shingle comes out nicely. sure the exposure lengths are lined up. Also the nailing strips, so that I'm putting the nails back in the proper spots. This is a rather steep slope, so I'm trying to just take my time, be deliberate. Here, I'm just going to be getting the shingles up high enough so that I can reinsert the nail properly with my hammer. Right.
Mention the granules.
Yep, well, as you can see when we're nailing these back in, there are granules falling off the shingle. That happens typically when shingles are fracturing in the matting of the asphalt and fiberglass. And again, I'm just trying to get these shingles up enough to get the nail started and drive it down properly. As you can see, just gently right there, simulating a little bit of rain, you can see granules are popping loose along fractures in the matting of the shingle. And this one isn't even where most of the pressure is applied, because these shingles up top are unsealed. When I go to re-nail these 4 nails in this row, we might have the similar issue on this upper row right here, from getting it up enough to nail it in properly. Again, this shingle is ripped right here from trying to retrieve the nail. You can see where the shingle has ripped. So I'm going to try to drive the nail here to at least put it back down in its spot and make sure that it's going to hold. But that is structural damage that could risk further damages from other storms later. Gonna be the last nail to go in. Again, I just need to get the shingle up enough. I'm trying to just use one finger here. Shingles down properly. Now, typically what happens is, after the repair, you can even see the lines where there's fractures in this shingle. Now again, I'm not gonna keep swiping just to remove granules, but what you can see is where the shingles were lifted, there's a fracture in it. I can highlight it with chalk, which I'll do in a moment, with certain spots where the matting of the shingle is breaking and fracturing away, pushing these granules out. And when, you know, another month or 2 hits and more rainfall comes, you're going to be able to see these a lot more. Okay, like these fractures is what makes the shingle not repairable. That is damage. So I'm going to highlight it with my chalk here, just so you can see on this row right here. You can see where the fracture has started. Right on that line, you can see the fracture in the shingle. Some granules have popped loose already from it breaking. Even right here, right above that chalk line, you can see the fracture in the matting of the shingle. That's just from enough force to get it up to hammer it down properly. That's the goal, getting the nail in back where it needs to be to hold the shingle in place once the damaged one is removed. You can see fractures and hinging along the insides right here of these tabs from the shingle being lifted. Right here, you can see from this motion, and just getting it up enough, I don't want to do it anymore, but getting it up, the fractures that have appeared in these shingles. Again, they're not super heavy at this moment because they don't happen to lose all their granules at once. The fracture in the matting happens, the shingles break in that spot, the granules are loosened, and then when rain hits and wind hits this roof over time, you're going to see these damages more. Right here in this shingle too. So these fractures is what the issue is here, because now these shingles around it, not to mention the one that ripped while we were trying to retrieve the nail, these have to be replaced. The nails had to be put in different spots to make sure that rip was accounted for. Right here, this is where the shingle ripped, and the nail was lower than that. That could be a risk of further damages. As you can see, the shingle had to be re-nailed into a solid piece so the shingle can be held down properly. Not to mention the fracturing and the matting of these shingles that will only get worse over time. And that's just from removing the damaged shingle, putting the new one in, and nailing it down properly so that it holds in place and it can hopefully reseal and do its job in protecting the home.